Hello, and hello, RJ.
Hello, Stephen. How are you on this fine morning for me, afternoon for you?
It's a fine afternoon here. It's about 60 degrees, which is 17 centigrade, and all's well with the world. And welcome to the show.
Oh, thank
Um,
you.
yeah, well, our show. So we should welcome each other, really.
Welcome, Stephen.
Thank you. Right. To everybody who's joining us, we'd like to say thank you for joining us. And the show will get underway in a moment. If you're watching the replay, we've got one or two questions for you and one or two observations as well as we continue our journeys in live video and building bots respectively. Now, I saw a claim earlier today, and Clara's saying hello. Hello, Clara, nice to see you. And away from RJ, I saw a statement today, and it was an advertisement on Facebook, and it was
Mhm.
IBM, the largest computer company in the world, still. Well, since the 60s anyway. The oldest computer company in the world. Let's go with that.
Yeah, let's go with
And
that.
they've got an advertisement which says build a bot in 10 minutes. And they've put together software which allows you to build bots, not on Facebook, because I don't think IBM talked to Facebook at all, but to build bots to go on other platforms. And you can do it in 10 minutes. What do you think of that, RJ?
I think I think that's interesting. I think the value lies in, if that's something that you're interested in, that's something that people could get their feet wet with. Is it the kind of bots I'm talking about? No. Is it the kind of, if you can build it in 10 minutes, the use of it will be limited. And I'm all for in it for the long haul. Let's build something that will have value over a long period of time. Building bots in 10 minutes, absolutely. It happens. It happens when something is bleeding edge technology
Yeah.
that, it's super cool and everybody kind of wants to try it. And then as it becomes more into the mainstream, then you've got people out there saying, build a bot in 10 minutes. I get it. I get it. Everybody needs to draw attention to themselves and make transactions in this big beautiful marble that we live in. I get it. I get it. But as for is that something that's going to be useful, how useful is it going to be to you, how valuable will that be to you? Facebook Messenger itself has opportunities where you can run a very limited set of automated messages to people. It's neat, but it's not anything that's going to go anything beyond what your normal. You call up the insurance people and they say, press one for this, press two for this, press three for this. Uh, it's about that functional. And so yeah, I choose bots that are a little bit more fleshed out, more value, I think. What do you think about that? It certainly caught your eye. I'm having troubles hearing you all of a sudden.
That was me.
There you go. All
I'm
right.
back. I'm back.
He's back.
I was drinking a cup of tea and I didn't want the sound effects to be on camera.
I'm gonna lean a little. See, here's the beauty of a static microphone. Whoop.
Okay. Building a bot you could build something in 10 minutes. Definitely, you could build something simple, and just as a demonstration of what a bot can do at a simple level. But building a bot is done in stages, and to build a useful bot, it depends how complex the bot is.
Yeah.
Because there is a question you've got to ask yourself first, isn't there? And that is, why are you doing this? What does the bot do that you want it to do? Or what should the bot do? Say hello to Dan. And
Hey, Dan.
Dan is a ManyChat user, a friend, and is the gentleman who owns the chocolate factory.
Oh, excellent!
Good person to know.
Yeah.
Building a useful bot. I mean, you first question you've got to ask is why, isn't it? Why are you doing this? What do you want from it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And when you're beginning, it is, a lot of people are hearing about this. It's kind of been hitting the mainstream ever since social media world a few months ago. Social media marketing world. That's what it was. A few months ago, everybody's starting to hear about this, and they're starting to, dream and expand on it and think about it. And so that's all really great stuff. If you're a beginner, I suggest that you have a narrow focus. I suggest, because gosh, if you're a geek like me, and some of you are, and you get into the software and you start looking at all the possibilities, it's gonna just about drive you crazy. Have a narrow focus at first. Why should people come and subscribe to your bot? What's the value in it for them? Is there a unique value proposition? Is there something that they can do in your chatbot that they can't do anywhere else? Think about that. Those things before you build are pretty essential. Fawn says, hey Fonz, how you doing? Thinking about that before you begin is essential stuff, because then when it comes to promoting later on and to marketing, it won't be something like, hey, come get my news and updates right here. News and updates, we can get those just about anywhere. We can subscribe to your Facebook page. There are a ton of places we can get your news and updates. What's the real value? What's the focus of your bot? So that's what I ask people to have in mind. That's what people usually come to me with. And sometimes that just needs a little bit of refinement as we do the first projects of the bot. And then we can move on to, let's add this crazy feature over here. Let's add this over here. So that's what that's kind of my opinion on that.
Thank you. Right, just catching up with the chat. Dan is bringing me up to date, and both of us, and says he's not using ManyChat anymore. Dan is using commercial setup. He's rolling out a new bot for the Shopify store, and Facebook using Octane AI. Have we heard of that?
Yeah, I have taken a look at it. Excuse me. I've taken a look at it. It didn't seem like much at the time, but this was a number of months ago. And maybe it deserves a second look. I am looking for I'm hoping for a competitor to ManyChat, which is a program I use to build all of my bot. I build all my bots there for myself and my clients. But I always hope for an introduction of a competitor into the marketplace. Because when one piece of software is the out and out winner, the clear in front, then sometimes some things can be pretty tough to deal with. I know, there are times that I get to ManyChat customer service and they are just running hot. They've got an answer for me and they're helping me out. And then there are times when it's like shouting into a black hole. And I think that because they don't have, they don't have a super clear kind of equal competition. Nope. I think that if there were competition, we'd get a better. We get some of the rough edges rounded out. I think.
I agree. When there is competition, we all win, because they've got to provide the same service levels, and as one provides a better service level, people will go and use that one, and then the other one's got to catch up. And you're quite right there. And it's a service level that causes two sides of it. One is the technical side, when nothing happens on the bot, which is becoming a rarer occurrence. I'm not saying it's not perfect yet, is it?
I think it will never be perfect, but once, if you're not super familiar with ManyChat, there is, when messages aren't delivering, there is a refresh permissions button that you can hit in there to get everything, kind of get the garbage taken out and get everything moving again.
Yeah.
When they came up with that button, that was a beautiful thing, because then, I can go into clients' accounts and I can hit that button and have everything, back to rights again. So that button is a beautiful thing. And so I am running into rarer and rarer cases where messages are just not delivering. But yeah, there still are some times when I need to get hold of customer service on a client's behalf. And so yeah, looking for that to minimize as well, but it'll probably never go away.
Well, we know what it's like when we're supporting the bots we've written, the software that we've written, that you can never be on the ball all the time, but we do try, obviously. Just to catch up with more of Dan's story, and Dan, it would be good if you could join us at 5 p.m. on a Wednesday to actually explain. Do you think that would be good?
Oh, sure. Absolutely. Yeah. Love to hear.
Right. Dan is saying the menu is now switched, that it links seamlessly to Shopify, my website platform, and to Klaviyo, my email software. Setting up an abandoned cart message is super simple and took about 4 clicks.
Yeah.
Right. So that sounds like something that's purpose-built for a particular method.
Yeah, well, that's beautiful. I'm going to keep that in mind, Dan. As far as, sometimes people ask me too about completely different platforms. I've been approached several times to write a bot for Skype, because there are businesses that do not want their stuff on Messenger for whatever reason. They'd rather have a training bot or an onboarding bot on Skype. So I'm constantly looking for bots that do different things and exist on different platforms. So that's good to know. I do have a client on a Shopify website. So I will, I'll check out Octane AI on her behalf and see if that's something that will be helpful for her as well.
Right. Now, an often asked question, and a very important one, because we both believe that bots should be personal. And Clara is asking, how do you create a bot identity?
Ooh, great one. Great question. And something that I know, I've done some lives on this. Clara, if you want to go to the Bot Signal and look at the shows that I have there, I have some stuff on creating that bot identity. But I'll go through the basics for you right now. So first of all, let me back up and tell you why. Because that, why to do it in the first place, right? People feel it's the platform, really. It's the platform. If you are reaching out to people through Facebook Messenger, they have developed trust with that particular icon, the white comment bubble with the blue lightning bolt in it. They have a trust with that. People go there to talk to their family and their friends and the people that they care about. People also have sort of a different way of communicating in there. It's not businessy. It's not full of jargon. It's not a wall of text. Please don't ever put a wall of text in a bot. So if you want to speak to people on that platform, adopting adopting a personality and a voice for your bot is an excellent thing to do, because the messages that they're reading then fit in with the place that they're reading them on. I know that sometimes that seems a little bit picky, but I've seen a lot of people make a great big mistake with Messenger in that they want to take that email, the email train that's no longer converting and put it directly in bot in a messenger bot because, well, you get a better open rate. I get it. That's math. I want it to be fun for the viewer. Oh, let's talk. Why haven't we talked already, my friend? All right. Yes, you do. You want it to have a little bit of sense of humor. You want it to have your personality. So one of the things that I recommend pretty highly, and this will help focus your efforts, is get a character for your bot. I go to Bitmoji. Bitmoji is where you kind of make a character that looks like you and use that for the bot. That's a good place for it. Or you can go to graphicmama.com. If you don't want something that necessarily looks like you can go to graphicmama.com and search through their icon packs. There's over 100 poses in each pack. It's where I got my spinning dragon ninja. And they have a ton of things there to choose from. Once you've picked one that's right for you, and you can even take something that they have and you can ask them to adjust it. You can have them adjust colors. You can make the thing look exactly like you or someone else. You can do a lot there. It costs a little bit more, but what are you going to do? You know what I mean? So finding either on graphicmama.com or creating your own in Bitmoji and using that for free, that would give you something to kind of focus on. Focus that personality around. The more personality you put into a bot, the more you put a little bit of levity into your bot, the better that bot will be, the better that experience is going to be for people as they are traveling through. Because especially, coming up here at some point, the novelty of bots are going to wear off. People are not going to judge your chatbot by what's in your chatbot. They're going to judge it the same way they judge your website, because they've been to 1 billion websites. And they're going to judge the experience of yours by the experience that they've had with everybody else. So at some point, bots will be there too. And the bots that stand out are the bots that have personality and the bots that really offer value and not just, an email train. So I hope I answered that question. Short answer, TLDR. The short answer is find some imagery that really resonates with you. And start putting that in the bot quite a bit. Hey, Lynn, how you doing? Start putting that in the bot, and then that'll help you kind of focus the personality. Jokes, totally fine. Sarcasm, Spinning Dragon has sarcasm. Offer everything that your brand personality has to offer, and you will be on your way.
I agree with Claire as well. Be fun for the viewers.
Yeah,
most important. Now, if you heard the doorbell ring just a moment ago, that's because the doorbell did ring.
Whoa!
I had to go and answer the door. Anyway, I'm back, and what did I miss? I'll watch the recording, don't worry. Right now, so Dan says the link that I posted didn't work, so I've just posted a new link which does work. So there you are. That's that sorted out.
Yeah, well, and you can always go to the botsignal.com. That's that's where I hit it up at. So
great. And Lynn's just got back home. She's made some coffee, good move, and now is listening and watching. So that is good. If anyone would like to join us on camera, we've got a messenger bot running today. We always do. It's called the messenger bot. And if you type guest, you can join us on camera and chat to RJ and I about anything in relation to bots, or in fact anything at all really, but bots mainly, I think.
Bots mainly
today. Now, next week is October 1st through 5th, and RJ and I are part of the team on 5 Days Live, which runs Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. Eastern. come back to the exception in a minute. Telemista is myself and Rigetti, Annie Mora, Linda West, David Burrows, Cheryl Piper. Our new friend, or not new friend, but new co-host is Lottie Hearn and RJ. So you're two bookends, myself and RJ, and then our 6 friends in between. And we'll be talking about everything about going live. And one show that we do want you to look out for is the show that RJ are doing and I are doing next Wednesday at 9:30 a.m. Eastern. This is the one exception to the 10 a.m. rule. And we will be live on the live video hub page with Animora, and it's about what to do after your show, which might well include repurposing. You think?
Oh, it's going to lead it. It's going to lend itself to a repurposing discussion. Absolutely. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to have that discussion. I'm doing a couple of new things for repurposing in addition to repurpose.io. And I am excited about that because I think that for me, I have a really great crowd. Just a super fantastic tribe of people who come and participate in my live streams with me. But I want that live stream to live on. I want it to live on in blog posts and everywhere else, so that people can continue to enjoy it and pop back onto Facebook and ask me questions. That's what I really love. So yeah, I'm real excited about that show.
Looking forward to it. It's going to be a great weekend. Dan Nelson joined us, and he then walked off. Now he's back. RJ, I would like you to meet, possibly not for the first time, my good friend is somewhere in that room.
Hello.
And my friend's name is Dan. Hello, Dan.
Hello, Stephen. Good to chat to you again. Hello, RJ.
Hello, Dan. It's good to see you.
Dan, you are a member of Black Belt Bots, aren't you?
I'm a member. I'm a member, but I haven't done much yet. So you only sent me the link fairly recently, so I've not had a chance to dig around properly. But I did chase up the link off you last week, in fact, didn't I?
You did.
Beautiful. Yeah, I'm interested to hear about your experience with Octane AI. And yeah, that's great stuff. I love it. I love to connect with other bot makers when we're making things on different platforms. How was it user friendly at all? Did you've worked with ManyChat before? Were you able to pick it up in a short period of time, or?
Yeah, I haven't done much with ManyChat. I used it a tiny little bit, and I hadn't had the time to dig into it, but it looked good. And I found out about Octane from an email from Klaviyo in their newsletter, because there's a new feature linking in Octane with Klaviyo, and you have to collect email addresses and stuff. And it caught my attention, and so I had a look, and it can do really, really simple abandoned cart setup. A couple of clicks, you're connected to your Shopify store. A couple of clicks, you're connected to Klaviyo, and another couple of clicks, and you've got abandoned cart messages set up. It really was simple, and then going from there to setting up conversations and sort of all the other bits and pieces you'd expect. It's a bit different from ManyChat. It doesn't have the same visual flow builder, but it's got a good interface and really, really good, easy to follow setup videos. So it was literally just sort of, most of them about 4 or 5 minutes, and they show you how to set up a little thing, and then the next thing, and then the next thing. So it's just really user friendly,
Nice.
user friendly. Yeah,
that's wonderful. Well, I'm happy to hear about the integration with Shopify. I've got a client whose website's on that, and I'm interested to check it out to see if that could be something for her as well. Very good, very good. So have you So setting it up was easy, user-friendly experience. How long have you been on that now, Octane?
It's literally, well, it's been about 2 weeks ago I first installed it, and I've been sort of just making time every few days or whatever to do a bit more getting it set up. So it's really early days.
Early days.
Yeah. And you can also embed it into your Shopify store as a chat icon on your Shopify store, and then build an initial sort of, say, product hunt, product finder conversations. When people click on that, you've got a on-page concierge to help them navigate your site, really.
Yeah.
So it's been good. I mean, I think I only had about 50 people following me subscribed through ManyChat. So I've imported those in from ManyChat, and their support team has been really responsive. So yeah, I'm literally today sent out my first broadcast. I'm in the process of setting up my first comment capture post with them as well. But it's just been really, really seamless so far. And yeah, I'm hopeful that it is, because of the integration with Shopify. I think it's perfect for my user case. It's perfect for my need. So yeah, yes.
The accountant in me has a question. And that is, I mean, obviously you're selling chocolate, which is always good. You're selling healthy chocolate, which is even better. But what's the cost on Octane AI?
I think it's about the same as the basic ManyChat platform, or it's either a couple of dollars more or a couple of dollars less. It's very reasonable. It didn't make me sort of go, that's for sure.
That's wonderful to know.
That's good. Good. Yes, we'll adopt that noise when somebody asks us the price. We'll just we'll do that. I mean, it is. We're living in an age where bots are getting very competitive, and with so many people using them, they're actually getting tested to the nth degree, aren't they, to become stable?
Yeah, so absolutely.
So you can just sign up, and it does what it says on the tin.
Love it when it does when it says on the tin. And I'm also really happy to hear that their customer service is super responsive, and that the stuff to following stuff is easy. I know that there are other platforms that I've worked with that have not been necessarily always responsive and easy. So that's wonderful. I think that's great. I'm gonna have to check that out again. Last time I saw it was probably 3-4 months ago. It was a while. And so I'm gonna loop back around because of this conversation. Thanks, Dan, for letting me know, because that's wonderful stuff.
Well, sorry, Dan.
I was just going to say, I mean, that's a sign of how quickly the technology is moving, though, at the moment, isn't it? That you can have a look at something 3-4 months ago and it's okay, and then 3-4 months later, they've brought on all these new sort of integrations with other platforms and have transformed what they're doing potentially from where they were. So.
It's true, and it seems like right now, chatbot company a minute is popping up out there. Like, people will come to me and talk to me about a lot of them. CurioBot just popped up, and there's a couple others that I've been looking at. And yeah, when they're in their infancy, it's not always fleshed out. So good to loop back around to everything that you've looked at. Or I need to keep a master list of all of the things.
An encyclopedia of bots.
Yes.
A shout out, if you're looking for a bot for your website, RJ and I are looking quietly at a bot called CurioBot, which is a concierge for your website. That's the term that Dan used earlier when talking about Octane AI. But the thing about CurioBot is that it's currently on AppSumo for $49. So catch it before it runs out. It's due to run out next week, if not before. Don't quote me on that. But if you're looking for a concierge, look after your website, so that when people come to your website, you've got something intelligent there. Then CurioBot is one to look at. advert over. It's not. I'm not putting a link in. There's no affiliates anywhere near our show. Right. Okay. Now we talked earlier about why you should build a bot and the building process of a bot. And the thing is that I had this idea, and you know my ideas, Dan. So does RJ. I had this idea, and I have a new bot, and it's called the question bot. And you can ask it a question. In actual fact, what it does is it takes your questions and stores them so that after the show, we can actually look at the questions we didn't get to answer. And there's all sorts of possibilities here. So my challenge is, if you are feeling adventurous, and this is going to be good, could you type the word question in the comments and we'll see what happens. Now, this bot was not written in 10 minutes, but it took about 25, I think. So it's not finished yet, but if you want to type question in, you will be helping me test something out. It will become, obviously, part of the suite of bots. And Elaine is saying, hello, Elaine. CurioBot, think it could be integrated into a Wix website. Yeah,
I would say so. I mean, Wix websites you can embed code in. Any website platform that you can that you have a function where you can embed a piece of code, you can put a bot. I mean, you can put a CurioBot in there.
Brilliant. And let's go back to that, and we say hello to Claire. And Claire is straight in at the party. So it's hello from Dan, me, and RJ. And of course, the first thing that Claire did when she arrived was to type questions. So it's going to be interesting to see
there you go.
if anything at all happens. And Chuck's typed question as well. So thank you for testing it. If it's not the finished article today, then we'll bring it back next week when it's a bit nearer. But I just had a thought an hour before the show, and I thought I'll give it a try and see if it can be done. So it may or may not work. If you don't get a reply, then you'll get a personal answer from me after the show, but not straight after the show because I've got a German lesson tonight.
I just want to pick up on something that RJ said earlier. I think it was when you were answering the door, actually, Stephen. And okay. I think it's really, really good advice is don't get carried away by all the capabilities of a bot. When you first start looking at it, just have a simple goal in mind and then gradually build it, and that's very much what I've done. There's lots more I'm sort of thinking of, and I'm just making loads of notes as I go along of, this would be a good flow, and this would be a good one, and this would be, but it's like, right, just one thing at a time. Get used to sort of all the different features and gradually test each one, and then go from there, and then gradually build it up. And I think that's got to be the first bit of advice. But then I think that's probably the case for most things, isn't it?
It really is. When you're first going, you got to put the blinders on and finish what you start. So hard to do though. And I know that I'm a technological geek. I have enough food and a bathroom right across the hall. I could be here for days. So I'll check out everything if I'm not watched very carefully. So yeah, I only speak that problem because I have it. But yeah, that's interesting. Can I ask a couple more questions about your bot? Is it mainly, since it's on Shopify, is it mainly conversations that lead to transactions, or is it conversations is it like about connection, or is it more like, okay, let me help you find what you're finding quickly and easily?
It can be all of that. So like I say, the first thing I got set up was the abandoned cart messages, because it was a couple of clicks. And then following their setup guide, I've gone through, and the initial bit was about setting up just to get people to ask questions. There's sort of setting up sort of specific sort of conversations for customer service or for or different things like that. So if someone's looking for customer service by typing in trigger keywords, they can then get access to details about our shipping information, our returns policy, all of those things seamlessly through little conversations, which is set up in the bot. And then I've also got one that's linked in doing on our website. We've got a lot of recipes. So there's a question, if someone types into the bot a question that relates to recipes, then it feeds them through to that. It can present them with a couple of our most popular recipes, but then also it's got an RSS feed directly into our recipe blog and shows the carousel of the most recent posts and things like that. So I think it seems to be pretty much anything that things like ManyChat can do about the whole customer service experience. The thing I'm just about to set up and test is my first comment capture.
Oh, nice.
Post. And I'm going to do that for getting people to request a discount code. So, but you could use it for anything, for downloading PDFs, all the usual things. So I'm just creating a post which is going to get people to type a set word that'll then trigger a conversation through. So yeah, it seems to be everything, as well as having the link into Shopify for the transactional stuff.
Nice. So is it only for Shopify websites, or is it for any website type of thing?
It's only got a Shopify integration at the moment. I believe they're working on others, so my guess would be BigCommerce, but I don't know because I'm on Shopify. To be honest, I'm not bothered about that.
Yeah, of course. Well, Shopify is really the best one to be on. I mean, I used to build websites for folks, and I know. I've been inside BigCommerce. That stuff is interesting. So good. Well, that's excellent to know. Actually, now that I think of it, I've got one lady's on a Shopify, and then I've got another lady who's developing one. So this might be good to look at, just to be able to inform them of where this should be. So beautiful. Well, I got on the air and I got a gift and learned something today, Stephen Healey.
There you go. I learn something every week, which is good. Yeah. Right.
I've just double checked the pricing, and it starts at $9 a month.
Oh, it's cheaper than ManyChat.
No. So yeah, and then obviously as you get more users, it goes up. But at $9 a month, it's you can't not try it.
Oh yeah, and I love the sliding scale pricing. It's that's a genius move to make the bar low and get everybody in and trying stuff out.
Yeah.
I mean, that's sorry, Dan. Sorry.
No. Go on.
That's the thing about ManyChat, that you up to 500 subscribers is $10 a month, which is very reasonable. It's the best marketing $10 you could spend, because if you ask somebody to sit down and write that software for you, you'd be spending thousands of dollars, literally. Sorry, Dan, over to you, sir.
No, that was it. I was just going to say I'm probably going to have to come off camera now, because I'm going to have to sort of listen out the corner of my eye while I get on and build the next bit of my bot.
Okay. All right. Very good,
Dan. And your bot building. Thanks for joining us. Take care.
Yeah. Nice.
See you soon.
Nice to chat.
Bye. And thank you to Dan for joining us. And Claire is saying it was good advice from Dan. She is just finishing off a project, and then she'll get on with the bots. And then before we got into that conversation, partway through that conversation, I said, ask people to type in the word question, and Claire typed question, Chuck typed question, so did Barbara, and the feedback is that Barbara's saying the bot worked. David's saying the bot even works in Canada. Oh. So that's good. You got to, if it works in Canada, then it will work anywhere.
It'll work anywhere.
Yeah. So that's good to know. As I say, it was an idea that came to me, and I thought I'll do that before the show, and I'll now go and refine it, because it'd be interesting to see if you've actually typed anything in there.
I think it's interesting that let's see. Let me ask you, okay, this is going to get technical, everybody, for just a second. Did you hook two growth tools to it, or did people who are already subscribed go to Live Video Hub bot and type that?
Basically, they went to the Live Video Hub and they got a message, and the message said, "Please type the word question."
Yeah.
That went off the keyword. Keyword was question. That brought up the sequence.
Okay, perfect.
Okay.
Yeah, because I had tried that a couple weeks back, hooking more than one comment growth tool to the same post. Didn't work.
It's definitely one-to-one, isn't it?
It is one-to-one. I did have a question a while back. Somebody had thought that you could only have one comment growth tool, which is what we use when you type in guest and and messenger pops up the link to join us. That is called the comment growth tool. So yeah, a couple weeks ago, I had a lady ask me, she said she was told you could only do that once per day. You could only hook one of those up per day. And I'm like, no. So I quickly hooked up about 5 of them, and I let her know that you can put a comment growth tool on every single thing you post on Facebook if you want to. And so, I mean, that's certainly an option, but yeah, that actually kind of brings another thing to light that I kind of wanted to talk about a little bit, as we close out the show a little bit. I talk a lot about how to promote your bot and how to, what do you need to do to get people in there? Because once people start building, then they're like, okay, this is a nice place, but how do we get people in here? First of all, you can put a link to your bot anywhere you can put a link to your website. Just think about it like that you can run advertising to it. There's so many ways, right? That we put our links out into the world in social media and in the internet space. You can use all of those to promote your bot. But one of the things that I want to talk about, and I talked about this last week in a show called Branding Your Bot. When you have a bot that offers value, has some personality, some fun to it, and you're ready to kind of put that out into the world, I'm trying a different phrase for promotion. Instead of promoting, here, come to this bot so you can do the following. I'm trying a new idea of spotlight and invite. Spotlighting your bot for the things that it does that you can't get anywhere else. In the bot, you can ask me questions, and I will turn up and give you answers to those questions and maybe start a discussion with you, where you can get answers instead of, here's the 101, and plenty of people, I'm so grateful, listen to me do that. You can get answers to pointed questions or schedule like an Ask Me Anything call. That's something you can do in my bot that you can't do anywhere else. So if you kind of have those value propositions that are unique to you, if your bot has a personality, then you can start spotlighting that on social media. I talk about Spinning Dragon all the time. I talk about, the little ninja that is currently my chat bot personality. I talk about, the kind of information she can deliver. I talk about, funny things that she does. It's almost an entity, really, in my business. And then, so after the spotlight, talking about Spinning Dragon, I make videos occasionally. I make videos too, just kind of showing what the bot does. After that kind of spotlight, then extending an invitation to people. See, promoting your bot, sometimes that feels odd to people. There are tons of entrepreneurs out there for whom making a product and making a service is awesome, and they could do it in their sleep and they absolutely love it and lose time doing it. But when it comes time to promote, people really, people kind of fall back from that a little bit because it feels like you're blowing your own horn. And in fact, you're probably blowing your own horn in a crowded marketplace sometimes, unless you're doing something unique. So rather than thinking about it as promotion, rather than thinking about it as, the salesy type of things that we're all taught to do, think about inviting people instead. Think about inviting people to a party. There's a party going on in my Facebook Messenger. You are invited. There are things that you can only get there. Here's the link to it. Would love to see you. That kind of thing happens a little bit more naturally to people. So if you are a reluctant marketer, I'm a reluctant marketer. Hello, just super nice to meet you. If you're a reluctant marketer, then Messenger is something that you can really take advantage of and take to the next level, because there's no reason to sound salesy. People are pretty turned off by salesy stuff anymore. So if you're having trouble promoting your bot, if you're not having troubles with ideas how, but you're just having trouble with that wording, word it like an invitation. See if that works a little bit better for you. It certainly has worked a lot better for me. So, end rant. Sorry about that, folks. I just I wanted to talk about that because I ran upon that idea this morning and it was so very exciting to me that I wanted to share it with all of you. And now I will continue to talk until Stephen comes back on the screen. Excited about 5 days live next week. Excited about Stephen and I are now working on a course together. Let me tell you how this came about. That's Stephen. He will not hesitate to ask you over and over if there is something that needs to be done. And in this case, he's been asking me to make a Udemy class about bots for a while now. And so we're teaming together as we do, and we do well. And we're going to be offering this. We started last week. Sketching the structure out, and this is going to be available to everybody. Excuse me. I've been drinking soda and live streaming. It's a bad idea. I know it's a bad idea, but I'm still doing it anyway. So we're teaming up, and we're going to be offering a messenger bot class together that will teach you some real basic bots to build, and I'm really, really excited about that. I'm also going to look into this Octane AI business because that sounds hot for Shopify users. Honestly, the abandoned cart hookup and all of that kind of stuff. And not everybody's on Shopify. I totally get it, but it is one of those website builders that is, pretty easy to use. And so people are kind of leaning towards those sort of platforms these days. So we'll be checking that out and giving you a report in the future. So let me see. I think Stephen might be back. Stephen's back. How are you?
That was interesting. I lost internet. So RJ, you were giving good advice. Clara's saying good advice. Awesome, RJ. And really appreciate it.
Is Stephen frozen for any of you? Stephen is frozen for me, and that makes me think, because I'm an internet person, that maybe he has lost his internet again. So here's what I am going to do about that. Let me see here. I'm going to look up, I don't have the page up here, Live Video Hub. I'm just going to see if he is frozen for anybody else and if I'm in fact still on. So what a beautiful Wednesday it has been. We've had Dan, my friend who makes the chocolate. We've had Dan on. We've been able to talk a lot about bots and different kinds of bots as well, which is awesome stuff. So let me see if my picture's coming up here as there we go. Okay. Okay, it's on. So I'm going to keep talking for a couple of minutes to see if Stephen returns. So let me ask you this, everybody. Within it's going to be a real basic class that's going to take people through ManyChat, signing up for it, a little tour through the interface, and then we have a couple of bots that we are going to teach people how to build. And so,
Hello.
Hey, how are you?
I'm stuck.
Yeah. Yeah, you flip between being frozen and being able to move there. So I don't know. Maybe we should wrap up about 10 minutes early. What do you think, Stephen? Your internet seems to be a bit spotty today.
Well, it's showing me as being here. I'm not sure.
Okay. Very good. Let's see here. So, 5 days live coming next week. We're going to be giving the whole team, there's going to be 8 of us, and everybody's going to be talking about different ways, different tips for live streaming, different perspectives. So we do hope you join us then. And then, of course, I think we're still doing this show as well. We did that last time.
Can anybody hear me?
Can anybody hear Stephen? All right.
Thank you. I just wondered what was going on then, Claire. This is live video. Anything can happen. And Claire's saying I'm looking better now. My internet went and came back, then went and came back. So now I'm back, but I can't see RJ. Can anybody see RJ? If you can see RJ, please say yes. If you can hear me, please say yes. If you let me know. All right, Gospel's saying you can hear me loud and clear, but can you see RJ? You can see RJ. This is interesting. I can't see RJ. RJ can't.
I can hear you.
RJ if she can hear me.
I can see and hear you.
Right. Okay. In the studio, I can't see RJ. So presumably RJ is still
connected.
Oh, this is good. I'm going to refresh again. I'll be back. Hopefully, I'll be able to see RJ too. Okay. I'm sure she's holding the fort as I do this. Right. Okay. I think that's because my internet connection.
Yep. Stephen's internet connection is a little bit, not super trustworthy today. We're willing to give it some grace though, and very good. So if there's something that you would like to see in a basic class on bot building, we think, Stephen and I put this structure together. We think that it's awesome, but you might have a better idea. So we want to leave room for that. If you have any sort of topics you want to see in a basic class for bot building, please do let us know either in the comments or you can tell the live video hub bot, and Stephen and I get that. So that's it.
Right.
Stephen, are you fully with us this time?
That's a leading question. My internet came and went twice. And then I couldn't see you. Now, that makes life a bit difficult because we can't talk to each other if I can't see and hear you. This is the joys of live video, though, really. And I think we've got it back together at the end. It's exciting. They said don't panic, and I wasn't panicking because I knew eventually everything will be right and the ship was in good hands because we've still got the captain at the helm, no problem. But it was a sort of different ending to the show than the one we planned. Though, having said that, the show that we planned isn't the show we've just given you. but that's nothing new, is it really?
No.
Right, so I'm back, yeah. Just time to say that 5 Days Live is from October 1st to 5th next week. You'll be able to see RJ and myself with 6 of our friends, and we'll be live Monday through Friday next week at 10 a.m. Eastern every day, apart from Wednesday, which we'll find out about on Tuesday because we need to make sure everything's okay. And if you're thinking of going live broadcasting, if you want some help with your current live broadcasting, then please do come and join us. And you can always type question in the comments and ask your questions. I'm back.
All right. Well, just in time to close it up. Are we having this show next week, Stephen Healey?
I think we should. Don't you? Should we?
Oh, absolutely. I'm always game to go online with Stephen. Always.
Yeah. And vice versa. That's a definite yes. It's a definite yes. You businesses both here twice next week. 10 a.m. Eastern on 5 Days Live. And if you still got questions and you want to know more, or you want to join the after party, that will be at 12 p.m. Eastern. So 2 shows next week. We can do this. I'm sure we can do this.
Oh, of course we can.
So would you like to close the show, RJ, and say thank you to everybody who sat through, hopefully an entertaining hour with about 10 minutes of internet stuff?
Yeah. Well, everybody, thanks for joining today. If if there's something that you would like to, there's a discussion topic that you'd like to see on this show, always let the live video humbot know, and we'll certainly respond to that. We would love to have the show topics driven by your questions, because Stephen and I know a lot about bots. Build them for a living, and Stephen is constantly building things. We know a lot, but we want to know what you want to know in order to make this a show that's valuable for you. So if you've got topics, let us know. We love you. Thanks for joining us today, and over to Stephen.
And Claire thanks us for being entertaining and informative, which is what we try to be. Well, we just enjoy chatting to each other, and we thank Dan for joining us today and finding out about Octane.io. And as Elaine says, we will be here Wednesday noon, 3rd of October. Thank you. And Dan's saying great show. Well, you were in the show, Dan. I mean, how can it not be? Take care, everybody. We'll see you all later. Bye for now.